ceremony. The activities this morning are time-honored traditional means by which a municipality honors the soldiers and officers. 1st Service Battalion was originally granted freedom of the city by His Worship Ralph Klein on 24 April 1982.
Yes, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Grant, the commanding officer of Lord Strathcona's horse. I wish to speak to the mayor in order to request permission to exercise my regiment's right to freedom in the city of Calgary.
Be pleased to take you to his office.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dave Redmond, commanding officer of the 1st Service Battalion. I request permission to see the mayor in order to exercise my battalion's right to freedom of the city.
I'd be pleased to take you to his office. Come with me. Thank you very much.
They will uncover their guns, uncase the guidon, fix bayonets, and move their units into a position in front of City Hall. Once the units are in place, the commanding officers will move to their positions at the front of their units, and we will continue with the ceremony. At that point in the ceremony, the colonels of the regiment of the Strathconas and the colonel's commandant for 1st Service Battalion will take over the... Lieutenant General Fox, colonel of the regiment of Lord Strathcona's Motorsports, was born on 20 December 1965, he attended in West Germany. He was promoted to lieutenant colonel in August of 1969 and appointed senior staff officer of Ferret Car. Lieutenant General Fox commanded his staff from June 1971 to September 1973. In 1962, he took the regiment to seconds with the 1984 horse season. After attending intensive training, he was promoted to colonel and promoted to the International College Program. Promoted 3 years ago in 1978, he was the frontline commander for the LdSH West Germany. In 1980, he assumed the position of Deputy Chief of Staff Operations at Central Army Group Headquarters, Calgary, Germany. He was promoted Major General and appointed Chief of Personnel Development at National Defense Headquarters in 1982. Promoted Lieutenant General in 1986, firing liaison team at National Defense Headquarters. He was appointed Colonel of the Regiment for Lord Strathcona Fort Royal Canadians in December of 1993. In 1957, and attending Collège Militaire Royal, Saint-Jean, Quebec. He was commissioned in the Royal Canadian Army Service Corps. He was posted to 6th Company Halifax that year. He served as the Canadian Forces Transportation Liaison Officer with the United States Army's Military Traffic and Management and Terminal Service in Washington, D.C. On his return, he returned to Halifax and completed a Bachelor of Arts degree at Carleton University. As Chief of Defense Officer, headquarters, United Nations Emergency Coalition. Returning to Canada, he served as Executive Director of Command. He was oversight of the National Defense College. Promoted Brigadier General in 1982.
You want to give me a better reason than this? It's not the traffic.
Vehicles, what are normally used as reconnaissance vehicles, and in the center you have Ferret armored.
That's probably the best place to be is right there. I'm coming over there.
Order!
Your Worship, as Colonel of the Regiment of Lord Strathcona's Horse Royal Canadians, I seek your permission for our troops to exercise the freedom of the city of Calgary, a permission that was first granted by His Honour Grant MacEwan the 1st of October 1965.
Would you please confirm that the Lord Strathcona Horse Royal Canadians are good citizens and good soldiers?
We have 100 troops here who are parading and will be in their vehicles later. They are in fine fettle and are fine citizens of Calgary.
The greatest honor Calgary can bestow upon a military unit is to grant it the freedom of the city. This historic tradition signifies great respect and trust by the municipality and the citizens of Calgary in the professionalism and quality of its resident soldiers and officers. Military units who receive freedom of the city are granted the right to parade within the city with drums beating, banners flying, and bayonets fixed. The Lord Strathcona's Horse Royal Canadians is exercising this honor to commemorate its final year in Calgary. Over the years, its members have been productive and strong citizens, and Calgarians will miss the contributions they have made to our community. However, regardless of where the Strathconas travel, they will always be welcome in Calgary. And whereas the freedom of the city was originally granted to the Lord Strathcona Horse Royal Canadians in 1965 by Mayor Grant MacEwan, and whereas this is the 5th time the regiment has exercised its right to freedom of the city, and whereas today's event has special significance because it occurs in the year of the Lord Strathcona Horse Royal Canadians' departure from Calgary, on behalf of City Council and the citizens of Calgary, I hereby give my permission to the Lord Strathcona Horse Royal Canadians to exercise freedom of the city of Calgary on May 21st, 1996.
Mayor Dewar, representing all of the citizens of Calgary, will now inspect the regiment. Civilians are not normally accorded this privilege.
On return to Canada, the regiment was allotted for service overseas and then disbanded. In 1909, in March of 1915, it served as infantry in the trenches of France. In March of 1917, it was remounted and served as a cavalry 3rd BC. On 31 March 1918, at Moron Wood, he led his
distinguished guests, Strathconas, and fellow Calgarians. It's an honor and a privilege for Strathconas to once again participate in the exercise of freedom of the city of Calgary. The Strathconas and Calgary have enjoyed a long-standing history of mutual respect. But more than that, we have a long history of cooperation, integration, and just plain friendship. Justifiably proud of the close relationship we've had with Calgary. The relationship we have had with Calgary is a truly unique one in Canada. I speak for all Strathconas and our families when I say we feel a connection between a regiment and a city has never been felt more strongly than it has been felt here in Calgary. The regiment has in fact considered Calgary its home for 95 years. The regiment has left for operational reasons from time to time, but the thoughts and the memories of Calgary and the spirit of Calgarians have always been close to our hearts. Such is the case now. freedom of the city on the occasion of departing for Edmonton is important. Strathcona's will not ever forget the place Calgary has in our history and in the spirit of our regiment. The privilege to parade the regiment in exercise of freedom of the city is a particular honor which the city bestowed on the Strathconas. The honor was first granted, as mentioned, to Strathconas in 1965 ways and for such a long period of time. Our relationship really has set a model for others to try to emulate, and I thank you and I thank all Calgarians. A motto of the Strathconas, because of those who have found the spirit of the regiment to be that way, is once a Strathcona, always a Strathcona. I think it also true here today to say once a Calgarian, always a Calgarian. Thank you.
Service Corps from Winnipeg to Calgary, and this became one of the major building blocks when one service battalion was first formed.
Your Worship, Mayor Durham, to be here today. It's my pleasure because one of my units is being honored with exercising of the freedom of the city.
It certainly has been my distinct honor to grant two distinguished military units, the Lord Strathcona Horse Royal Canadians and the 1st Service Battalion, the right to exercise their freedom of the city. Today also is an opportunity for Calgarians to share in a celebration of the fine tradition of these military units and their distinguished history in Calgary. However, that being said, it is a sad day for all the citizens of Calgary, as today marks the commencement of the departure of the regular army from our city. Calgary has a proud military heritage that has become intertwined in the very fabric of our city. From the days when the Lord Strathcona's Horse Royal Canadians had their horses stabled at Mawada, your highly decorated unit has played an active role in many Canadian war efforts, including the Boer War, World War I, and World War II. Recently, you have brought pride to our city and our country through your continuing role in United Nations peacekeeping operations and NATO.
Are greatly impacted by your departure. You have been outstanding as you did Calgary. On behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Calgary, we bid you farewell.
Squad will lead the brigade to battle. Today, they will symbolically lead the brigade from Calgary to Edmonton, signifying the start of the brigade's move to the new Edmonton garrison. These members are to be dispatched by His Worship Mayor Durham and the commander of 1 Canadian Mechanized Brigade for your general meeting. They are running to Edmonton with a commemorative scroll from the citizens of Calgary and the citizens of Edmonton. Mayor Durham will read the scroll and hand it to Major Cade, officers commanding the Reconnaissance Squadron, who will then commence their run to Edmonton.
Commander of the units and troops of 1st Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group, who consider Calgary their home, and as a representative of all regular Army soldiers, non-commissioned and commissioned officers, and their families, who have ever served in your midst over the past 100 years, and who consider this great and friendly city to have been their home. It is with some regret that today's events ceremonially mark the beginning of the end. Your mothers, your fathers, your grandmothers, and your grandfathers, for the outstanding and consistent support you have given to them, given to us, over the years as your neighbors and as your friends. As soldiers, we have our orders, and it is time to begin our move. northward towards Edmonton, to make new friends and put down new roots. Your worship, I request that you dispatch some of my brigade scouts from the Brigade's Reconnaissance Squadron of the Strathconas. As they run northward, they will herald the commencement of the move of some 2,500 soldiers of the brigade, plus their families, from Calgary this year and ending in 1997.
Commemorative scroll that will be transported to Edmonton. By this commemorative scroll, I, Mayor LdSH, who sadly acknowledge the commencement of the departure from the city of the soldiers, non-commissioned officers, commissioned officers, and families and units, and extend to them the courtesies and rights and privileges they deserve. These men and women serve our country with pride and distinction. They will be excellent neighbors and ambassadors of your city. Gentlemen.